we're going to see more stuff like that, not in a linear straight line. Obviously, things are fine for now, but every time we have an economic slowdown or asset market decline, you're going to start to see the stuff come out the woodwork. So just be aware of that. We are very much still engaged in a fourth turning. Shout out to my former colleague Neil Howe on slide 59. So the 42 macro secular inflation model, our math, and again, hashtag math, because I hear a lot of narratives about inflation and this and that and inflation, but I haven't seen one person do any work on trying to actually figure out where is inflation going. Everyone just says be long inflation because inflation is going up. Well, that's great. I certainly don't disagree with that from a longer term perspective. And again, we'll talk about that later in the presentation. But in terms of, let's just quantify it. I mean, we have the ability to create narratives. We should have the ability to do math as well, at least if you're investing in financial markets. But our math suggests a stationary mean of headline CPI has already transposed itself 60 to 100 basis points higher. So this model is a dynamic factor model. It features all the main things that have driven inflation higher or lower in the last few decades, or really lower. And the net base has been lower in the last few decades. And what we're looking at is in terms of trying to identify, where is the latest value relative to the 2010 to 2019 sample, so we can get a sense of how that feature is really moving the needle from the perspective of the 2020s decade. And so the reality is, the key takeaway is that, hey, look, stationary mean of inflation, which means that's kind of the mean of where the inflation sine curve oscillated around, was 1.8% in the previous decade. Our model is currently suggesting, based on the latest values for these very critical features, that somewhere between 60 to 100 basis points higher. That's meaningful. It's certainly meaningful from the perspective of asset allocation.